Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. I am your host, Nick Niehaus. We have a very, very special midweek show this week because not only am I always joined by Eric Lilly, a.k.a. Bearcat Bunch, Houdini Hudson joining the midweek show this week. Give it up for Hudson for joining us.
Absolutely, man. I'm missing. I can't do the post-game show. I don't know which one of you guys is doing it with Chuck. That's why I had to get on here and yap a little bit, so you're not going to hear me on Saturday.
Okay, I'm not going to the game, so maybe I just kind of maybe I can do it. We'll see. I know I'm going out for the game, but I'm not going to the game, which is the biggest issue. But anyways, big game on Saturday. We had a long bye week. Talk about extra long considering how that Utah game felt. So we won the bye week, number 25 in the college football playoff rankings, and we have Arizona coming to town in historic Nippert Stadium. So we're going to preview that game, and then, of course, we're going to recap the basketball Dayton game at the end of the show. Hudson, I will start with you, though. Speaking of Utah, us three did the post-game show of that. We've had 2 weeks to digest it, I guess. How are we feeling about football? It's almost basketball took over all of our attention, and now we have to go back to football. It was a bad time for the bye week in terms of our attention. Good time for the actual football team itself.
Yeah, and like you said, if we just don't play another game this year, we'll probably sneak up to like the top 15 of the BCS rankings. I love that. We just don't play, we move up. I mean, look, people are so down, I feel like, just generally on the football team after one road loss against a really good Utah team. Granted, it was in excruciating fashion. One of the worst games I've ever seen, including all the hype that went along with it. But we're still sitting there controlling our own destiny with 3 games left in the Big 12 in a winnable game against Arizona at that. I feel great. I don't think Sorsby's going to do that twice in a row. I don't think the offense is going to show up like that twice in a row. I know Arizona's got a good defense. Lilly will break down the numbers for us. But I'm feeling good, man. I think it's crazy in hindsight after what we expected coming into this season to be down on this team in this spot.
And not only do we control our own destiny, if we win out, we're in the Big 12 championship, we could still get in with a loss. I don't think we will, but we can.
Let's not do that.
Nope, I'm not going to cope. But Lilly, how are you feeling about the team?
I'm excited. I'm trying to figure out why there's not more buzz right now. I know it's bye week stuff, but and I think I've said this in chat this week. I spend a lot of time bothering you guys in that group chat, so hopefully it doesn't piss you off too much. But put yourselves in the shoes of future Houdini, future Niehaus. We're walking out of Nippert Stadium at 5:00, 4:00, with a win, and we're like, holy shit! We play BYU next week at Nippert. It's going to be prime time. If it's not prime time, it'll be on a great TV station. The whole country's going to be watching. And if we win that game, it's one more game. That's it. And we're in Arlington. I just think like the setting is a little underhyped right now. I think people should be way more excited. But, people are still protecting themselves. The last time I felt this, we lost to Miami. It killed the buzz for the Oklahoma game. So, I can't stop thinking about that right now. It's like if we lose this game, it's like it's Miami again, really. I know Arizona's much better than Miami, but I'm saying it would be the ultimate buzzkill for Cincinnati fans. So I'm locked in. I'm fired up. I hope Nippert's rowdy, and we got to win this game.
Look, it is 100% because we got smoked at Utah, and then we had a bye. That's why there's no hype. And then basketball season starts, and we got Sean Abayev, we got Baba Miller looking like a superstar, and we got Chom. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, that's definitely the mixture of why there's no hype, I feel like. But let's talk about Arizona. 6-3 overall record, losses to Iowa State. They got smoked by Iowa State on the road. 39-14. I guess that's not smoked, but anyway, it was not close. Lost to BYU at home, 33-27, and then lost on the road at Houston, 31-28. They are coming off back-to-back wins against Colorado. They really took it to Colorado on the road, 52-17, and then they won at home against Kansas, 24-20. I have no idea how to feel about Arizona. I'm going to start with Lilly because he's the guy who knows all the ins and outs of every single team in the Big 12. How do we feel about this?
I issued an apology to Arizona fans like in October at some point because I think I picked them like second or third last. And, you know, they had bad vibes. It just seemed like a bad spot for this season. They almost fired their coach after 1 year. That's usually a bad thing. Like, usually there's something going on if you're hearing stuff like that. And they've just been just a solid football team. They're more than capable of beating us, which is scary. Because I do think we're much better, but they have this pass defense that is frightening. They're top 10 in the country in pass defense. They have the second most interceptions in the Big 12. They play man coverage, and if you watch the PFF breakdown of this game, it might scare you a little more if you're not scared yet. They play the defense that has bothered Sorsby a little with the passing wise, like the aggressive man. We saw it with Colorado last year, and then we just fell apart after that because teams realized they could do that to us. So I'm pretty nervous about that part of the game, but I do want to point out like why I'm confident still. And it's because I think we can run on these guys in a home game with the crowd behind us. And it's just a bad spot for Arizona. They haven't had a bye for a couple weeks coming across the country. We got a new kick, the opposite of what happened to us at Utah. And, they just got to that 6th win. Emotions were high. All their press conferences, like they just seem so happy and proud of getting to where they are. And it just seems like that letdown spot. That's why I'm positive right there.
Houdini,
that's why the line moved.
What are we at right now? It was at 4.5 the start of the week.
6.5.
There we go. Houdini, you hear top 10 pass defense. I'm listening. Let's just break this down. I'm listening to the national podcast that me and Lilly have referenced, the Cover 3 podcast. CBS does it. I really like. It's probably my favorite national podcast out there. And they're kind of like crapping on UC for being 25th in the college football playoff. They're like, who's their best win? It's Iowa State. And I'm thinking maybe it's Baylor.
Might be.
Here's the question. Are we worried about Sorsby against a top 10 pass defense? Because this is going to sound crazy. It's week 12, and I feel like the jury is still out on how good of an offense we are just because we lose to Nebraska, hostile environment, Utah, hostile environment. If those are neutral site games, and I know Nebraska, funny enough, really was, but it wasn't. Do you think it was the defense that got to us, or do you think it was the hostile environment? Like, do you expect Sorsby to come out against a top 10 pass defense and be, the absolute stud that he was weeks 2 through 9?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I've been just looking at is who is our best win? Like, have we beaten an actually good team? And Iowa State got decimated with injuries. It doesn't look that great anymore. Baylor, I think, probably is our best win. But we have beaten a lot of the middle-of-the-road teams, and there's something to be said about that. The good teams don't win all of those games, and we have. Now, Arizona is probably going to be our best win. Again, we're going to do this probably for the next 2 weeks. BYU will certainly be our best win if we win that one. So I'm a little bit concerned. Arizona is somehow, they still have future odds to win the Big 12. So they're somehow still alive with 3 losses, according to DraftKings, unless that's just a money pit to throw money into. But they don't Fafita, is that how you pronounce it? Fafita, Lilly, am I doing that right? He's got to be about 5'7". I think he's listed at 5'10". He is tiny.
Max.
He is tiny, and he's quick, but he doesn't run a whole lot. And I know that's kind of been our kryptonite is running quarterbacks. So I feel pretty good about that. And, if you lose to Arizona, all credit to them. If you lose to Arizona, you just weren't a good team. You lose to Arizona at home. So we'll really find out what this team is. But I do like our chances. I'm not too concerned. I know the PFF, I did tune into that. It was a little bit alarming looking at their defense and how we've performed against top caliber defenses. But I'm still confident at home, dude. This is a letdown spot for them. It's a pick-me-up spot for the Bearcats.
It's like the chicken or the egg. Is it the fact that we are in hostile environments, or is it the fact that those were really the two best teams we've played? It kind of sucks. I would have rather one of them at home. And again, we have BYU coming to town the following week. So it's like, did we just backload this schedule with the best teams we're going to face all year at home, right? Arizona and BYU. Then, of course, we go on the road at TCU to end the season. Lily, what about the run defense? Like, and obviously Evan Pryor we just had the injury report come out that he's going to be questionable. What do we do? Did I just miss you mention the run defense?
No. I want to talk about that because this injury report just came out while we're recording. And sorry for my video lag. This is crazy. Arizona's top snapped defensive lineman is listed as out. He's played every game. He's 301 pounds. He's their nose tackle. We're going to run the ball on these guys. We have to. We got to establish the run, then let Sorsby do his thing. We don't want to make a big mistake early and get behind. And to your question here, Arizona runs the ball. It's what they do. I know Fafita's kind of known as like one of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12. Arizona is 104th in the country in EPA per pass. Like the numbers look decent, yardage and stuff like that, but they're not very efficient passing the ball. I watched the Kansas game last week. They really struggle. They're third and long a lot. They're 110th in the country for average third down distance. Their average third down is 7.5 yards. These guys are not good at offense. But if they beat us, we made a big mistake on offense, I think, or they just ran it down our throats. So we really got to step it up here and try to make them one-dimensional.
Well, I'm looking at the box score of the Utah game, and as bad as that was, we did gain 206 yards on the ground against them. Tawi Walker, 7 carries, 67 yards, an average of 9.6 a carry. He did have a long of 41. Manny Covey, 47 yards on 5 carries. Zion Johnson, 5 carries, 35 yards. Houdini, we might be running the football.
We're running
We ran the ball well on everybody. Even Nebraska game, ran the ball well. Like we have yet to run into a defense that could stop our run game. It's just shocking to be averaging like 7 yards a pop and lose by 30 to Utah. Like, how does that even happen? I remember like the total yardage. Weren't we only 30 yards below Utah's total yardage and still lost by 30 plus points?
Yeah.
So look, there was a couple of plays in the Utah game. I'm not going to claim we could have won that were just disastrous. I mean, just absolutely catastrophe. And I don't think, hopefully luck is on our side a little bit in this one. But I think we're going to be able to run the football. And, Lily, you could tell me this. Does Fafita get sacked a whole bunch just running through? I know he's a pretty quick guy.
Yes.
Okay, because I was just looking at the box score, and he's got like 100 yards on the ground at 1.5 yards a carry, and I know they include sacks. Yeah. So just box score watching. Okay.
He's been sacked 22 times, and that's a lot. Their O-line is not good. The thing is, like, if you go look at that Iowa State box score, which I did do, sicko stuff here. Iowa State only had 1 sack versus them. They play that 3-3-5 that we do. They don't pressure like we do. And they still cause problems. Like, we don't have to get 4 sacks. It would be great, but we have to make him uncomfortable. He is a decent runner, but he's also seeing ghosts right now. Like, Kansas got to him 4 or 5 times. There's like multiple games where he's got sacked 4 times. We got to make him uncomfortable.
All right, so who's the player of the game that we got to look out for? Is it Dante Corleone on the line? How healthy is he? Because he did not look healthy in the middle of the season. I mean, he was like, maybe that's just how he walks because he's a giant of a human being, but he's like hobbling around out there. He's healthy, right?
It's out of a bye. Like, you got to think that this is going to be the healthiest he'll be the rest of the season. I honestly would pick him as the guy that could break out this game.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, because you look at the Utah game, the thing that everybody pointed to is how awful the tackling was. And it's like, Sorsby's going to be the player, that everybody looks for because he's the quarterback. And that's just inherently what's going to happen every single game. But you got to look at each level of the defense, and they need to step up. And I'm looking at Corleone, I'm looking at Golday, and I'm looking at Sanks. And it's like we need 3 leaders on defense to step up next week because that's just what's going to have to happen.
They're going to run the ball.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball. So the tackling, I mean, that's my number one key to the game. Maybe it's get Sorsby going against a solid defense for the first time this year. Not saying he's just diced up bad defenses, but again, like we've lost the 2 most competitive games we've played. Let's be real here. So it would be that, and then it'd be tackling on defense. Any keys for you two? I want one key to the game for each of you. We'll start with Hudson.
Oh God, you got to throw me on the spot.
No, well, Lilly was he was about to open his mouth, so Lilly can go.
I think limiting Fafita's arm, like I mentioned, their pass offense isn't very good. Their run offense is top 20 in EPA per rush. So I think completely neutralizing the pass would be a great way for us to get off to like a controlling, like we've had these really good first halves, take the lead, control the game. And I think the best way to do that is to keep their pass game out of it. And the thing I'm watching the most is they have a big receiver named, their receivers aren't very good, first of all. So that's nice. But they have a big receiver named Trey Spivey, who the diehards will remember. He was that huge wide receiver on Kansas State last year that just cooked us. He's like 6'5". He transferred to Arizona I think he's from Arizona or something. And he hasn't had like a super great year, 300 yards, 6 touchdowns, but we have small cornerbacks. I just, if Arizona gets in the red zone, we got to really watch out for that. I think locking down their pass offense is going to make it a one-dimensional game and help us get the dub.
I'll go special teams, kicking. We were fantastic at special teams all damn season. What do we do against Utah? Disaster. I mean, from everything. Special teams coverage on punts, our punting unit, our kicking unit. We missed a field goal finally after they jinxed the shit out of him on national television, and he hasn't missed a field goal yet. I think that's going to be key because I think this is going to be – I don't think they're going to blow this team out, like Lilly mentioned, with the defense that they have. So I think those field goals are going to be huge. Field positioning is going to be massive as well. I don't know what we dropped. I know we were like number 2 in the country at one point. It certainly didn't stand after that Utah game. So I think that's going to be big, and that'll help our defense. And, Fafita's a good quarterback too. So you try to keep him off the field as much as you can.
This might be the most cliche thing you guys will hear, but it really could come down to like who just makes a mistake. If we, and on our end, like if we make 1 to 2 mistakes, turn the ball over, we're going to let them in this game. Limit turnovers. How smart do I sound? I mean, geez.
I love it. You just go limit turnovers, tackling, and kicking. Right?
No, this is big. Expert analysis. What are you talking about, guys?
But seriously, this isn't a team like Hudson said that we're going to blow out. So this is a classic. Don't shoot yourself in the foot game. That's kind of my preview of this. Is just go out there, take care of business. You're the better team. You have the better quarterback. I don't know if we have the better running backs. With Evan Pryor out, that's a question for Lilly. You have the better wide receiving core. You have the better tight end. I mean, you have 2 NFL guys on defense. Go out there, don't make mistakes, limit it, and just absolutely just dominate at home. I don't know anything else, guys. Then we'll move on to hoops.
They have that 3-headed rushing attack. It's good, but I'm still taking our guys. And also, Pryor's listed questionable, not out, but you never know. It's hard to tell out of the bye.
Last word on the game, Hudson, for hoops.
Can't lose to Arizona, man. They haven't beaten anybody good either. They beat Kansas State like week 3, and everybody thought they were going to be good. They're a solid team, but they got wins against Oklahoma State, Colorado, and Kansas. You got to beat this team if we want to be for real, if we want to see that little number next to our name go up a little bit and then have a primetime spot against BYU nip at night. I'm calling it.
And I want to say something real quick. No one's giving us credit for that Kansas win. Like, they were flying high at that time. They looked decent. We killed their season, and it's not a bad win. You know, it's not Oklahoma State. It's solid.
Yeah, their quarterback has a doctorate already. I mean, he's 27 years old.
We got to guard him.
All right. Well, controlling your own destiny. This is one that would be extremely disappointing to lose. So
absolutely,
just go out there and take care of business, because again, like Lilly said, it would be like the Miami-Oklahoma game, or losing Miami before the Oklahoma game. That BYU game will be so hyped up. Might even get game day. I mean, I don't know. That's 3 Big 12 games of game day. I don't know if that's going to happen, you know, given ESPN's agenda. But yeah, anyway.
They'll give it to Air Force or some shit.
Yeah. All right, now's a good time to talk to you about Martino's. Craving some legendary swing by Martino's on Vine, right on Shore Vine, just from the University of Cincinnati. Home of the best stromboli, huge, cheesy, perfectly seasoned dough wrapped around your favorite toppings. We're going to have a couple more live shows at Martino's. Of course, this whole episode is brought to you by Martino's. We love it. I was there before. I've been there before every single home basketball game. It's a great spot before games, after games. Really, whenever. So thank you to Martino's. Let's talk about hoops before we get out of here. Hudson was on the post-game show, so I'm going to give the floor to Lilly. Cincinnati takes down maybe the most stressful, I tweeted, the most stressful double-digit win I've ever been a part of at Fifth Third Arena. I mean, we won by fewer points against Georgia State. And it couldn't have been two more different feelings. Like Georgia State, I was like, we were never going to lose that. Dayton, I felt like we were losing the whole game. And then we won by 12 somehow. How'd you feel, Lilly?
We were up 7.5, and I literally just had a blaring headache. I just sat there like this in my seat the entire halftime. I could not believe what we were watching. It felt like, you know, all the demons of the past were back. Miserable. But, you know, a day later, I feel a little better. My cloudiness is gone. We're 3-0. We've got the net bonus all 3 games. There's a lot of guys that can get better. You know me, Mr. Positivity. But there's a lot we need to talk about with this game. And luckily, Houdini did not cover it all in the instant reaction. So let's do this, Niehaus. You just mentioned the key to beating Arizona. The key to beating Arizona is to not turn the ball over, right? Well, the key to beating Dayton is to make them shoot 2 for 26 from 3. So there's some analysis for you.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out. It was an ugly game. A lot of players did some dumb things, but I want to shout out the guys that I think won the game with being composed. The crowd was on edge, and these players that I'm going to name off are the ones that stayed calm. They might have messed up once or twice, but they stayed calm, kept us above, you know, the water, and won the game. Day Thomas, 12 for 12 from the line. What a performance. Like that's like the first time I've sat there like, wow, this guy, like, he really is coming into his own and is a leader now. And then I thought, despite his antics down the stretch, I thought Kirk Kriisa was one of those guys that calmed us down a little. And I'm going Sincere Harrison, Tyler McKinley. Those are my big 4 of guys that won the game. They all played great. McKinley didn't show up on the stat sheet that much, but he doesn't look like a freshman, Niehaus. I'm excited. Like, I was like, you know, it's a freshman. He's not going to do anything. We can play this guy. We can play him.
Absolutely. And he played down the stretch instead of Chom. I think that says a lot.
That's a big talking point right there.
Isn't that crazy? Who would have thought?
That might be concerning.
That might be concerning.
I mean, listen, I love McKinley. It's still a little concerning. Like, I saw them swap him out. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, did Chom foul out? Is he injured? Nope. He was completely fine. McKinley just looked good on just like little like defensive rotations, making the right passes, just being in the right spot. Like Lilly said, just doesn't show up on the box score at all. But I don't want to bury the lead here. I need more from Chom, man. I need a lot more from Chom. I did some digging, Lilly, in my analysis. Granted, Sean was a freshman last year. He started out the season super, super slow, and he was playing like 20-plus minutes a game. I think he averaged like 5 points over his first 6 or 7 games, and then really came into his own really in Big 12 play in the middle of it. So maybe that's it. Maybe Mustafa just takes a little bit of time to get going. But I need him to get going soon because we got Louisville in like a week.
He doesn't like the time change. That's what it is.
Oh, shit. That could throw you off.
Well, Lily's giving him Hudson. I don't know if you listened to last week's midweek, but Lily's giving him till December 1st until we're allowed to have a conversation.
I'm a little nervous, though. Last night kind of scared me.
And I thought he looked good on defense.
He had 4 blocks, which shocked me. I thought he had 2. I just thought the first 10 minutes, it felt like every one of Dayton's baskets was at the rim, and it felt like he was in the wrong spot or just a step away. Not affecting the shot enough, and it was scaring me. I was like, what are we going to do? But then, of course, they scored 62 in a high possession game. The defense was overall very good. I'm still chalking it up as getting used to a new team, a new system, and stuff like that, but I'm just a little concerned now after last night.
All right, there's a few things that I wanted to touch on with this game. One, we got to give Day-Day his flowers. Give Day-Day credit. Give Day-Day credit. Give Day-Day Thomas some credit because he truly willed us to that game. His shooting is incredible.
Sharpshooter. Who saw it coming?
Incredible. So there's that. I'm giving Day-Day his flowers. I don't want to be the guy who just hops on a podcast and complains about the officials. That was abysmal. I mean, it really was. It seemed like every single time Dayton went to the rack, it was like, yep, there's going to be a foul called. What was the call on Baba Miller? They called it a dead ball technical. He didn't do anything. Like, why'd they get 4 free throws at the end of the first half?
And the ball.
If anything, that was a flagrant. Did I miss something there?
I don't know what the rules are exactly on it. I mean, he was getting a tech or a flagrant on it. If you watch the replay, like it was going to happen. It was like they were blowing the whistle and he refused. Was it Durkak?
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, well, of course.
I warned you about him.
So, like, he was just pissing Baba Miller off the entire game. And he's like, I'm not giving you this ball. And Baba Miller's got a foot on him. So he was like hunched over him, had him in like a chokehold and refused to let go of the ball. I liked it. Granted, It gave them 4 points and the possession. Like they were about to bring it into like a 3-point game after that. We were up like 10. So it wasn't great. If we would have lost the game, I'd be a lot more pissed off about it. But no, I mean, they were going to call something. Like I watched it. I'm like, they're calling something.
I mean, it
just
was
called a flagrant. You don't need both.
It wasn't a dead ball. It wasn't a dead ball technical. Like nothing even whatever.
Well, if you blow the whistle, Niehaus, is it now considered a dead ball? Not a math guy.
I guess. Anyway, I thought the officials were terrible. I guess.
Sucked.
Yeah.
You're right.
The flow of the game was horrible.
They were bad. And anyway, lastly, we are second in the country defensive rating on KenPom. How about that? This is a team that we thought that was going to come in, have a ton of shooters, play really well on offense. We have 24 turnovers. Yet we're second in the country on defense. Did it seem like it? I saw that today and I had to fact check it myself.
Behind Houston?
Yes, it's true. And we just can't get ahead of Houston. God. 24 turnovers, 25 personal fouls. That is awful basketball to watch as a fan. And I think, do we think that kind of is why it felt so bad? Like, I was just so many stoppages. You have more time to get pissed, I think. That was just a bad game.
I mean, let's call a spade, though. As far as our defense and our efficiency, the numbers through the roof and all that stuff, a lot of it was Dayton missing every damn shot that they took. I mean, they had plenty of open threes, too, and just missed everything. Like, Latong just stopped shooting them. He was like, screw it. He had multiple wide open shots. I'm like, dude, fire it if you're smart. Granted, he was 1 for 6. So I think he just said, screw it. I can't make it. But they missed a lot of open shots. Like that just is what it is. I still think the defense was pretty strong and physical. That probably threw them off their game a little bit from deep, but they missed open shots.
One cool thing that came from the post-game presser, outside of Wes not being pissed off, is that Kirk Carissa was talking. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he was saying that he saw Day Thomas 2 hours before the game, dripping sweat. And I guess he asked Day if he was like going to go off for 30. And he's like, no. Like, I'm going to shut down Javon Bennett, right? That's his name, Javon Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm going to shut down Javon Bennett. And that's the kind of intensity that we need on this team. So that's a cool story that Kirk Carissa shared. I
got
just
a little Kobe in him.
He does,
Kobe style. He shows up like 8 hours before the game. And Javon Bennett, to your point, I mean, he went 3 of 15.
Yeah. Day swarmed him. So there's a few trending up. There's a few trending down. Talking about the trending up, it's Sean Abayev, it's Buck Harris, it's Day Thomas, and it's Tyler McKinley. Baba Miller didn't have a great game. Lilly, I don't want to take credit because I don't want to take credit for somebody not playing well. But we said it. We were like, is this just a flash in the pan because we're playing low majors and maybe like once we play some like decent competition, which Dayton was good on defense. Let's be real here. Like they were pressuring. They were pressuring the crap out of us full court. And I guess it just got to Baba scoring wise. I still think he played well. I mean, he had 9 rebounds, right? So I'm not saying he had a bad game, but like, I think we kind of could tell that like he wasn't going to just be 25 points a game against every single team every night.
Yeah. I have a stock falling and a stock rising real quick since you mentioned it.
Yep.
My stock falling is Wes Miller for the lineups in the first half with that press. It's like, what I mean, we're making a sub every 20 seconds. I was losing my head in the upper deck. And I do like giving Tillery a shot. It just felt like, it wasn't working and maybe should have pulled him out a little sooner. Tillery, Jordy, and Zella had 5 turnovers and they played like 12 minutes. Like that's if you go into half up 15, it's way different than what happened. And my stock rising is Wes Miller in the second half for shortening his rotations and winning the damn game, recognizing that this is a massive game. And if we lose this shit, like shit's going to hit the fan. So there we go. There's my stock falling and rising.
I got one big stock falling, but do you want me to go, Hudson, before I ask you?
No, I'm just confused, though. Can you intentionally crash your own stock price and then buy it back? Because I don't know if I can give credit for somebody like, oh, should we have Zella, Jordy Rodriguez, and Tillery in when this press is awesome, like we just mentioned? I mean, they were all over the place. I don't know if I can give Wes any credit for that. The stock is still the same then, if anything. It is not rising.
Well, who do you have a stock falling or rising? Because I have one, and I
made my own rules.
I can get into my spiel before you. I'll let you think. But
you guys already mentioned all the big hitters. Like like McKinley stock is clearly rising. Carissa's an interesting one because he's going into his 8th year of college basketball. Like I want him to clean up the turnovers a little bit, but I just love the guy, and those flashy passes are awesome. But at times, like if he would have in crunch time, he threw a couple behind his back to nobody at the end of the game. If that was like a 6-point game, man, I would have lost my mind.
I think that was Carissa, though. Yeah, I think that was Baba Miller's fault on the one behind the back, because although I don't think it was anybody's fault because he was sealing off. He was getting Kerr to the rim. He was sealing off his guy, and then Kerr, thought he was cutting to the basket. We've barely touched on Sean Abayev. Talk about scoring in a way that we've never seen. I mean, yeah, Cumberland had some step backs. DeJulius was a name that I was like, who could hit a step back 3? And it was DeJulius and it was Cumberland. But Sean Abayev step back and 1-3, unbelievable stuff from him.
He's been fouled on 3 threes in 3 games.
He just
watch out, James Harden.
Yeah, I'll say he just knows how to. He's gonna get people in the air because he has that threat. All right, I have a take. Stock falling. I've been sitting on this for I guess it's my 2nd year doing this, and it's bugged me ever since. And it's bugged me since I've had season tickets since I moved back to Cincy a few years ago.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh my God, Lily. And again, I don't want to antagonize anybody, but we got to get people on their feet at Fifth Third Arena. It's a joke. Like it is hard to get people engaged. And I think even you tweeted it like or I don't know, maybe it was a private text, but like the home court advantage it's not as good as it once was. Like it truly isn't. Like it's not the students, it's not the people in the second deck, it's the sidelines. It's hard. Like it took the most insane sequence I've seen at Fifth Third Arena in a while with the 2 threes and then the alley-oop to Baba Miller for people to finally stand. This is almost a rivalry game against Dayton, and everybody's just sitting on their hands. And it really was honestly kind of upsetting. I don't know. I've been sitting on that take for a while.
It's been driving me crazy for years.
I thought it was bad enough, against Dayton to finally say something.
I tweeted about it last year too, because like I started asking questions like, is it because these students have never there's never been a good team when they're here? Like that makes sense. Like we've been bad for 4 years. And then maybe it's the renovation. The student section used to be that one like massive section. Now it's split up. And, the lower bowl people are always going to be that way. So I'm in the front of the upper deck. And sometimes when we jump up, like my section's a little rowdy, I guess. Sometimes when we get up, we look around like no one else is doing it. And you almost feel like an idiot. It's like, why are you guys not doing this too? Like, what? So I think it needs to start with, the people closer to the court. And then when you see more people getting up, it spreads back. But hopefully
the upper decks having issues too.
Yeah, that's when it's bad.
It's been a minute since I've been, just because I'm doing the show after every game.
Yeah,
I mean, I recall not that long ago there was grown men taking their shirts off. I'm talking guys in their 40s mid game.
Yeah, I got thrown out for that, so I stopped doing it.
Is that true? I hope that's real. That's a real fan right there.
Yeah, been a while since college, probably on that one.
Here's the thing. I feel like that was the most mild call out I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I am a season ticket holder for Bengals games, and there's games where you stand the entire game, and that sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to sit down occasionally. Standing the whole game is brutal. But
it's not the case for football, I feel like. They get loud as shit. I went to a couple of games this year, and they're going nuts like the whole game, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely louder for football.
And like you would think with how intense that game was, it's up and down the floor. Like this wasn't a Mick Cronin game where it ended 50-40. This was the most fast-paced game I've ever seen at Fifth Third Arena. And people stood up one time and got into it. One single time. I don't know.
That was loud though. That was nice to feel it again. I think I tweeted that.
Loud.
Let's do that again, please. Yeah.
So we need to be better a little bit, just to an extent. I'm not like, I don't want to antagonize the fan base because there's still. Here's the thing. I saw a clip of God, what school was it? It was a decent program.
Was it recently?
Yeah, it was yesterday. And I mean, there was nobody at the game.
Utah. I was gonna say Utah had like 7 people.
No, it was a better program than Utah. And I'm like, you know what? We still get 10K plus at every Fifth Third Arena game. Like, that is very nice. Like, we fill the arena.
If you're gonna be there, though, get on your damn feet. Especially against Dayton.
Minimum standing 3 times. I'm not asking for much. We had one time people stood up.
Not to
I heard the cheering section wasn't great. The student section specifically, just from all the burner verse. Like they were like, "What are we doing?" Like they're getting in guys' faces, like "Stand the hell up, let's cheer." So that could be an issue too. Maybe it starts there, and you don't want to antagonize Gen Z folk. I'd listen, hand up, fellas. No issue.
We don't want our burners to turn on us. Stop tweeting during the game, guys. Come on, lock in.
It was bad except for the chant about number 4 at the end. I don't know if Lily heard that one, but that was actually started to the guy who I was standing right next to about Dirk, whatever his name is.
I'm sure I can guess what the chant was, but
yeah. I don't want to. It's a kid show. It's a kid show. All right. You guys got anything else for basketball? We've gone 40 minutes.
Yeah, we want it to be loud for Mount St. Mary's. Like hear the podcast, listen to us, and we'll be rowdy for Mount St. Mary's. No, save it for Louisville, guys. If there's even people at that game.
Yeah, tough time to call out the fans for not being rowdy because we don't have
a good home game till January.
The bye of the bye games, but like I thought that was enough to say something. Hudson, what about you? Final words.
Nothing, man. Big game coming up. Louisville. We just saw them beat the brakes off of. I mean, I know the score, I think it was 6 points, but they were dominating Kentucky. And Kentucky's got some damn good players. So we better buckle up, man. Can't play like you did against Dayton and have a chance to win. Certainly can't turn the ball over 75 times. Let's try not to do that.
No, definitely not. All right. Massive game at Nippert Stadium Saturday. Arizona coming to town. And then we have Mount St. Mary's on Sunday. And then, of course, Louisville Friday of next week. So, I mean, hey, this is going to be a crazy 10 days for everybody. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you later.